Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're diving into something literally every single creative wrestles with, but we rarely actually talk about it until it's entirely too late. We're looking at how to transform a super chaotic digital darkroom into a highly scalable, professional workflow. And we're pulling some really powerful insights directly from the Bangalore photographer's Essential Cloud Management Guide. Because whether you're shooting incredibly vibrant weddings, high-end corporate events, or meticulous product catalogs, capturing the actual images is really only half the job. Managing the enormous, terrifying tidal wave of data that comes with it? Yeah, that's the other half.
So, let's be real for a second. Are you one hard drive crash away from an absolute disaster? I know it's a harsh question, but we really have to ask it. Just picture the ultimate freelancer's nightmare for a minute. You've just wrapped up this stunning, exhausting 3-day shoot. You have thousands of high-resolution client photos, totally unbacked up, just sitting on a single physical drive. If that drive fails, or gets dropped, or just corrupted by digital clutter, well, it's not just lost files, right? It's a ruined reputation, lost revenue, and completely broken client trust.
And that actually brings us to this incredibly powerful quote from our source material that just hits the nail on the head. Photography is not just art, it's data. Wow. I mean, that is a massive mindset shift. Because when you're behind the lens, sure, you are an artist. Absolutely. But the very second that shutter closes, you become a data manager. Protecting those client photos isn't just some boring IT chore you can put off. It is a critical professional responsibility. Honestly, your storage system can literally make or break your entire workflow.
All right, so let's jump straight into phase 1, building your cloud foundation. Think of this phase as pouring the concrete for your digital studio. The guide makes a really crucial point right off the bat. Not all cloud platforms are created equal. And more importantly, most of them are definitely not built for creatives. A true photographer-first platform needs some very specific capabilities. It has to seamlessly support massive file sizes without choking. It absolutely demands lightning-fast upload and download speeds. And it has to allow for deeply organized folder structures. So a reliable service like eShare.ai, for example, is specifically engineered to handle these massive, high-resolution backups securely. It makes sure your files don't just, sit there gathering digital dust, but actually remain highly accessible.
Now, to actually solve that massive headache of digital clutter, the guide highly recommends strict folder discipline. They suggest a very specific 3-step hierarchy. First, client name. Inside that folder, you put the project date, and inside that one, the type of shoot. Like, is it a wedding, corporate, or a product shoot? Adopting this exact structure doesn't just make finding an image 6 months later incredibly fast. It keeps your entire archive looking beautifully professional and completely audit-ready. But here's the thing. All that gorgeous structure is completely useless if you forget to actually upload the files. Relying on manual uploads is a total trap. They are tedious and, let's face it, easily forgotten at 2 a.m. after a 14-hour day of shooting. The guide stresses that you absolutely must enable sync folders on your desktop. This one simple step creates real-time automatic mirroring. It ensures that your most recent edits and brand new shoots are constantly being protected in the background. So even if your entire local system completely crashes mid-edit, your data is perfectly safe. Now, this next part outlines an absolutely optimal hybrid approach. Because you actually don't need to shove every single thing into the cloud. The smartest move? Keep your massive, heavy raw files right on your local, fast SSDs or hard drives. Then, push your compressed formats, your JPEGs, your high-quality TIFFs, and your final edits up to the cloud storage. This specific strategy optimizes your file formats before uploading, which saves you a ton of crucial cloud space while still maintaining a rock-solid, multi-layered backup strategy. It's the best of both worlds.
Moving right along, let's get into phase 2. Optimizing the editing workflow. Okay, we have all been there. You go down this massive editing rabbit hole. You make 20 different changes to a portrait's lighting, and then suddenly realize the client actually liked the version from 3 hours ago way better. That is exactly why the guide so strongly stresses using version control. Platforms like eShare.ai let you maintain complete edit histories. You can compare different adjustments side by side or instantly revert to previous versions without ever risking your original unedited file. You literally never lose track of your editing progress again.
Plus, let's be honest, photography is increasingly becoming a team sport. Freelance photographers are constantly working with external editors, retouchers, or graphic designers. To actually collaborate efficiently, the guide outlines some totally non-negotiable multi-user features. We're talking real-time file sharing, the ability to drop comment tags directly on the images, low latency access across all your different devices, and dedicated team folders. These specific tools are absolutely essential if you want to keep your deliverables moving fast without getting bogged down in endless, confusing email chains.
So, the crucial takeaway here is this. Having this setup is literally the digital equivalent of working in the exact same physical studio with your team without actually having to be there. A blazing fast, highly accessible cloud system empowers you to collaborate instantly and deliver pristine results to your clients completely seamlessly, even if you're, editing on a laptop at an airport cafe halfway across the world.
And that brings us to Phase 3, securing client deliverables.
Look, when a client hires you, they aren't just paying for pretty pictures. They are trusting you with their image, their brand, and their privacy. Guaranteeing that safety requires essential security features. We're talking end-to-end encryption, password-protected file sharing, role-based access control, and multi-layer authentication. Now, I know that sounds like a bunch of tech jargon, but it's vital. These protocols ensure that highly sensitive client photos remain strictly private. It builds a digital fortress, protecting them from unauthorized access, data corruption, or devastating leaks.
But part of maintaining that digital fortress is actually keeping it clean inside. The guide explicitly advises scheduling regular cleanups to dump old and duplicate photos. Because over time, all those random test shots and duplicate exports just eat up incredibly valuable space. Regularly auditing your cloud storage and ruthlessly minimizing digital clutter isn't just about saving gigabytes. It is the absolute secret to maximizing your daily efficiency. A clean workspace is a fast workspace. Simple as that. Now, you might be sitting there asking yourself, okay, but how much space do I actually need to get started with a system like this? Well, the guide provides a very clear, realistic baseline. For a typical freelance photographer, especially if you're managing the high volume of events seen in places like India, you should definitely look at starting with at least 1 to 2 terabytes of storage space. This gives you plenty of breathing room for those online backups while you scale up your client projects.
Let's wrap all this up and talk about the big picture, the pro photographer's edge.
Because adopting this kind of holistic workflow, it provides massive advantages. You get total accessibility from literally any device, you reclaim hours and hours of your life through simple cloud automation, you gain absolute peace of mind knowing you're protected from data corruption, and most importantly, you achieve true scalability. You can actually take on more client projects because your data management is no longer bottlenecking your creativity. It really isn't just about saving hard drive space, it's about saving time, protecting your art, and ensuring bulletproof professional reliability.
So I want to leave you with one final, pretty vital question to think about. Are you going to wait for a catastrophic data disaster to force your hand, or are you going to take control today? Switching to a secure, smart, and scalable platform like eShare.ai isn't an expense, it's a massive investment in your peace of mind and the future of your business. Please, don't leave your hard work to chance. Simplify and protect your creative assets right now, before it's too late. Thanks so much for joining me in this explainer, and